All right, guys, it is the week of the Champions League final, and in the lead up, we are getting the chance to talk to Neil Atkinson from the Anfield Wrap, the famous Anfield Wrap. Neil, thanks for joining us. How are you?
I'm very good indeed. I mean, it's a week with the European Cup final, and listen, Liverpool supporters have had more of them than any other side in English football, almost more than every other side put together. To be quite honest with you, certainly more than all the other top flight sides have currently had. And it's an important thing to remember for your viewers, whoever they support, that they must bow down before the mighty Liverpool. But it's still a rarity even for us. It's still marvellous. It's still exciting.
Are you getting any sleep this week?
Well, I'm not when I get on our bus. Our bus leaves at 2 a.m. on Thursday morning, so there'll be no sleep Wednesday night, and then we're going out. We stop off in Berlin. There'll be no sleep in Berlin, and then we get to outside Kiev. There'll be some sleep in Kiev, and then into Kiev on the Saturday. So yeah, it's exciting.
Logistics-wise, have you guys had any issues getting to Kiev? Is this the plan you had all along on how you would get there?
Absolutely not. The ideal would be to get a plane, and to fly in and fly out.
What a concept.
Yeah, imagine. And imagine staying in a hotel in Kiev as well and it being reasonably priced. That is impossible. So we're on a bus, staying overnight in Berlin, and as I say, outside Kiev, and on the way back in Prague. So it's literally a European tour we're going on.
It's not bad. The classic, the old days. You were at training at Anfield on Monday. That was the open session. Did anything stick out to you particularly about that training? Players, team, the vibe overall?
The vibe overall is just relaxation, to be honest with you, and there's an intensity about them. They all keep doing interviews where they talk about being angry, and I'm really intrigued by these interviews. What have they got to be angry about? For one, they get to play in the European Cup final, but they say the managers tell them to be angry, and that's the thing that's coming through all of it. And there's a quiet confidence about Liverpool that I would find, where a Real Madrid supporter properly engaging with the reality of what's going to come to them on Saturday, I'd be finding this almost like an eerie calm around Liverpool. It's very much like there's a storm coming here, there's a storm brewing, and one way or another, I don't see Liverpool not showing themselves. Now, whether or not that's enough is a separate conversation, and a lot of that, has got to come down to the fact that they've got footballers who could just take a game away from you in 5 minutes, in Ronaldo, Bale, etc. But I don't see this Liverpool side not showing up and not dancing with the girl that brought them. There's not going to be some sort of mad tactical change. There's not going to be any sort of shift in the approach. I think you're going to get Liverpool unfiltered on Saturday night. And as I say, if Real Madrid win 3 on the bounce, having beaten Liverpool's best, all the best to them. Good, fair play to them, good luck to them. But they are going to be in for a hell of an evening.
Right. And Lallana and Chan, how are they looking? And what can we expect from them, if anything, for the weekend?
I think Lallana will be able to feature for 20 minutes in normal time. I think Chan's a bit of a let's see how the game goes. It wouldn't surprise me if it looks like it's going to go to extra time in some way, shape or form. If the manager sits on his third sub and then turns to Emre and asks him if he's got 20 minutes against tired legs. Okay. Because Emre Can backs himself, for rightly or wrongly, in a variety of different ways. Emre Can backs himself, and I think that if he can get Can on the bench, I think it will be with one eye on, if this game goes to extra time, getting that forceful personality on there.
And with all of Real Madrid's experience, what will Liverpool have to do to overcome that?
Oh, I mean, experience is a dead interesting thing. Like, if no one ever had, everyone has to do something for the first time. If everything was always down to experience, then Roger Federer wins every tennis match ever. That's not how it works. But what Liverpool have to do is play their game. And I think what they have to do is pick their moments to blow Madrid away. I think I watched this Liverpool side all season, and when they go, good Lord, do they go. And I think if they can pick their moments, and then when they're on top, which they will be at some point in the game for a period of time between 10 and 30 minutes, when they're on top, if they can score 2, 3, 4 goals, that's the thing to look for. And you look at the win against Manchester City in the league, the 4-3. It was 1-1 at half time. It had been quite cagey. And then Liverpool sniffed blood second half and destroyed them with 3 goals. And City got 2 back, and it was a 4-3. But trust me, when it was going from 1-1 to 4-1, it was not a 4-3 game. It was it was Manchester City absolutely begging for release, begging for this to stop, and it didn't stop until Liverpool made it 4. And I think that's what Liverpool have got to do: make them beg.
I like that. So this Real Madrid team under Zidane, how much of the effect do you think is Zidane? Just a few stats that I'm looking at here. 8 consecutive Champions League semifinal appearances, in addition to winning 3 of the last 4 finals, and 8 trophies since he took over in January 2016. How big of an impact do you think he is versus just how good the team is in general?
I think he's a real impact, and I think he shouldn't be underestimated. I've watched a lot of Real Madrid in preparation for this game and all the content we have to do on the Anfield Wrap for our subscribers. And one of the things that struck me is they don't score a lot of headers. And I think it's quite easy to take an attitude towards that as though it's just throwing the ball in the box. And when you stop and watch it, it really isn't. They're so patient in terms of when they put the ball in the box, and you see them amass their forces. It is almost like an army where you've got different big lads all taking different positions up, and then when the time's right, they hit. And I've been, watching that sort of stuff back both during this season, last season as a football supporter, but also in preparation for this. That's not accidental. This is stuff that's coached, it's worked on. This is a manager who's looked at his players and gone, Ronaldo isn't the Ronaldo of 5 years ago, and rather than punish him for that or ask him to be that, instead he's decided, well, we'll just make you the best number 9 in the world, mate, and we'll play into those strengths. And I think people aren't sufficiently impressed with the job that he's done. It may well be that Zinedine Zidane will never coach anyone but Real Madrid. He may well never ever coach anyone but elite footballers. But good Lord, has he really got the best out of elite footballers? You can't argue with that.
And getting the best out of those players is what he seems to be very good at. But now he's found himself in this dilemma. He says he's got 24 players within his selection. Do you think his selection dilemma or his selection issue of putting that best 11 on the field plays into the favor of Liverpool with that sort of uncertainty?
I think if Liverpool get ahead in the game, then quite possibly. I think it's if you're a manager and you send your team out and you put the game plan in and they're playing, you can say, well, it's working. If it's working. If it stops working, that's where if you're a Real Madrid player and suddenly it's gone from 0-0 to 2-0 in 5 minutes because Liverpool have run roughshod right over you and you didn't start Casemiro, then it might well be that Cristiano Ronaldo's gone, why didn't he start Casemiro? Why didn't he start Casemiro? And I think that's something which is, that's possible, that can happen. If there is any doubt in Real Madrid minds, and Liverpool have been brilliant at bringing doubt out all season, bringing out the doubt of the opposition. And I think that's what we've got to work on. So, what we want is, I want the Real Madrid players to think the gaffer's picked the wrong team here, because if they're thinking that, it's because they've got cause to in the game. They're not underdogs for me. For me, this is a toss of a coin. For me, and if Madrid supporters think otherwise, I've got to tell them they're wrong. For me, this is a 50-50 football match. I said before about strengths and weaknesses, how this stuff can sort of can cancel out each other. And for me, Liverpool have got a fantastic opportunity to win the Champions League. It is, if it's a toss of a coin, it's a toss of a coin, and I'm fine with that. And that's what I'm looking at. They've got wonderful footballers, wonderful attackers. They've got a couple of questions at centre-half. Sergio Ramos does not look like he likes turning round anymore. Doesn't look like that's for him, and he's going to have to do some turning round on Saturday night if Liverpool play well. He's going to have a Marcelo-shaped hole to the left of him, possibly a Carvalho-shaped hole to the right of him. What Casemiro, how he copes with Bobby Firmino snapping at his heels. We can win this. We can win this. And it's not just we can win this in a sort of, it'd be a shock. If this is depicted as, if Liverpool do it, Liverpool have shocked the world, I would say the world needs to have a good long think about things. This is a Liverpool side who, put 3 past Manchester City this season on 2 separate occasions, put 3 past Manchester City in half an hour on 2 separate occasions. Manchester City are great, coached by Pep Guardiola, get 100 points. Liverpool can win this, of course they can.
And how does this squad compare to the 2005 Champions League squad?
Well better. Well better. The front 3 are unbelievable. Liverpool in 2005, leading the line is Milan Baros or Djibril Cissé, depending upon mood. Luis Garcia has a key role in that running, but Luis Garcia's goal return as a Liverpool player on the whole pales into insignificance in a goals to games basis up against Mohamed Salah and Sadio Mane. Firmino is twice the player Cissé or Baros were. So yes, there was Steven Gerrard, yes, there was a young Xabi Alonso, yes, there was Carragher, and yes, there was Hyypiä, but there wasn't the attacking riches Liverpool have got. And elsewhere, Liverpool are stronger. We've now got Virgil van Dijk, Dejan Lovren. He might have a 10 out of 10 in the final. He might have a 3 out of 10, but he's at least got a 10 out of 10 in him. And you go right the way through that. Jordan Henderson is very, very good at dictating the game with and without a ball. Wijnaldum and Milner have impressed. This side's better than the 05 side. And what I'd say about that is, the 05 side, that summer, they buy Pep Reina, but they buy Bolo Zenden, an agent Bolo Zenden on a free transfer, Momo Sissoko and Peter Crouch. This Liverpool team's already got Naby Keita coming in. We're looking at 60-70 million pound players to come in and join what we've already got. This is a side that next season should be aiming for 90 points. You know, that's what the aim for Liverpool should be. This side it's night and day in comparison to 05, but 05 reminds us football's a game played on a pitch. And I'll tell you this as well, the gulf between the Milan side of 05 and the Liverpool side of 05 versus Madrid and Liverpool now, that gulf 05 was huge. That Milan side, what a team.
But you don't have a Jimmy Traore.
We don't have a Jimmy Traore. We're going to have to sort all that out. Someone else is going to have the worst first half in Champions League history, and then come back.
Exactly. You have to build the story that way. So, Neil, that's all I have. That's all I have for you. So I appreciate you taking the time to join us.
No problem at all. It's been an absolute pleasure. And you know, everyone just one thing I'd say is whoever you support, I love all the COPA90 stuff, and whoever you support, I really want it to be a tremendous Champions League final. I obviously want Liverpool to win, but I want Liverpool to get to play their game. And if Liverpool play their game, I'll say it again. If Liverpool play their game and Madrid win, and if they win 2-1, 3-2, 4-3, if Madrid win and Liverpool have come off that pitch and those lads have played their game, then fair play to Real Madrid. All the best to them.
Can we get a prediction from you?
Prediction, yeah, definitely. 4-2. I'm not saying which side.
Okay, 4-2. I like that. Fair enough. And then where can we find more Anfield Wrap stuff?
Anfield Wrap, theanfieldwrap.com. On there, we've got our free shows, our free podcasts, our free preview we've done today in association with some of our partners. And also, though, the work that we do full stop, but also the stuff that's behind the paywall. We do 14 podcasts a week, every week, supporting Liverpool. And a lot of them are premium podcasts for £5 a month. So there's all that stuff there. It's theanfieldwrap.com.
Great. Thanks, Neil. We'll make sure we send you out a T-shirt. You better wear it.
I will wear it.
All
Watch
right.
out for our YouTube channel.
All right. Sounds good. Talk to you soon.
Bye-bye, gents.
Bye-bye.
And thank you very much for that.
Thank
All
you.
the best. Enjoy the final.
Good luck.
Later. Thanks, Neil.